Aye. Burn a boy thing this, listen. Eh. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da ba da da ba da da. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da ba da. Listen, me say knock knock knock, it's the ice cream man. Run when you see my ice cream man. Knock knock knock, it's the ice cream man. Run when you see my ice cream man.
Welcome back to Unicide Sports, brought to you by your two favorite couch coaches, Jeff and Azza, bringing you the best sporting perspectives that no one has asked for. Jeff, it's been a long time, but we are here.
It's been a long time. Insert Jared Hayne meme.
It's been a long time. Oh, it's been a long time, man.
Azza, how was Sa?
Yes, so if you guys didn't know already, me and I went to Samoa. Bit of a journey. Well, you guys will learn about that or know more about that in the video to come. Yeah, it's good to be back in the studio, talking sports.
I was jealous watching all your guys' stories. Bo and I, we were still in New Zealand, holding down the fort over here. We were holding down the YDP studios, cleaning it up and
doing what?
making it sure it looked nice.
Still looks the same. But yeah, it's good to be back. And,
it's great to be back.
Talk some sports, eh?
Let's go.
Bo, what do we have on today's?
We're getting straight into it. We've missed a few weeks, probably like 3 weeks now.
Yep, 3 weeks.
Let's have a look, or let's hear your top sporting highlights from the past 3 weeks. We'll start with Jeff. Yep.
First highlight the past 3 weeks was my Waahs taking down Aaron Sharks. I was gutted that we couldn't come on the pod and talk about it and discuss what happened in that game.
I have the Sharks winning 13+.
Warriors 1-12. But that's definitely one of my highlights I still remember. SJ being clutch with that conversion, or was it a field goal or whatever, to beat the Sharks.
You don't even know.
28-26 or something. But yeah, that was definitely a sporting highlight for me.
Jeff, can you just grab that jersey up there and hand it?
Yeah, good moment.
Great moment, actually.
My moment came from when I was in Samoa. Israel winning back his middleweight title against Alex Pereira.
That was a great fight.
The odds were against him.
Yep.
Said he couldn't do it, and he proved everyone wrong, knocking him out in the second round.
Yep.
And then taunting his son.
He is very
petty.
What's the verdict
I am
on
petty,
that?
and so I loved seeing that.
Yeah, of course you are.
What's the verdict on that?
I don't
Everything
mind
goes?
Yeah.
Anything goes, man.
Hey,
Anything
if your son's old enough to understand what he did and dish it out, you better be able to
but
take it.
But also, the other side of the coin is he's a little kid, man. Come on. Are you going to be that petty towards a child?
I hold on to stuff, yes.
Yeah, I know.
But it was reassuring to see them backstage at the end of the fight anyways.
Yeah.
And they were
hugged it out and whatever. Yeah. My other sporting highlight is one that just happened recently is the NBA playoffs. It's the first round. I'm a massive Celtics supporter. So the Celtics are taking on the Hawks in the first round. We're up 1-0 so far. But there's been a lot of great games, a lot of games that have been close. I'll let you talk about your lake show.
I guess that's my second highlight.
More like the late show.
My second highlight is probably my Lakers taking the first game against Mina's Grizzlies. It was good because we won at their home.
Yeah.
And it wasn't our main stars who shone.
Yeah, it was Roy Hachimura
and Austin Reeves. They really
and there's
carried us today.
There's an adage in the NBA. They say that the finals, like the playoffs, don't officially start until a game you lose a game at home or something like that. So
it started.
Yeah, it's good that you guys won away.
Yeah, it's good. It's always good to win on the road, and now we go home and we should be up 2-0.
Yeah, with Ja Morant's injury, I think you guys should have this in a bag, eh? So yeah, NBA finals. Can't wait to see the Celtics in the finals again, like last year.
Let us know who your NBA teams are down there.
Let's go.
Any other highlights, boys?
No, I think. quick shout out to the Chiefs and their 7-0
7-0
seasons.
Boring.
But yeah, all you Chiefs fans, be happy because you guys will probably lose to the Crusaders in the finals anyways.
It's nice, 7-0 in the dying sport.
Man,
jokes.
how bad has the turnout been for, and the hype, just the overall hype and atmosphere around Super Rugby this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there needs to be definitely that deserves a bigger discussion there about the turnout for Super Rugby, and if you compare it to the turnout at the Warriors games, the past two
Well, it's
home games
24K at the Warriors.
the past two home games for the Waahs have been 24K. So yeah, and the Blues barely can get like 5 to 10K in there, say in Mount Eden. So maybe they need to go to like Waitakere and play at the Waitakere or
The Trust Stadium.
Waitakere Rangers.
Is it the quality of the matches, or is it just because I saw this thing like I would if the Blues versus Crusaders was free at Eden Park and the Warriors were playing any other team at that same time at Mount Smart, I'm going. I'm paying to see the Warriors play any other NRL team.
And so am I. Yeah. I just think it's not entertaining anymore. Like right now, like rugby in New Zealand. I don't know what it is. It's just not fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think the success of the Warriors has really helped. Well,
that's a rarity.
the early season success for the Waahs has really helped boost those numbers as well. Warriors fans are loyal fans, but when we're winning, we get people that hop on a bandwagon. So yeah, definitely I'll talk about my Waahs later as well and more in depth, but yeah, their early season success is definitely helping with the numbers.
Yeah, I know it's like rugby's a chess game, right? It's really tactical and
very tactical.
It's just when you don't see many tries being scored.
Yeah,
it's not. I don't know. I can't really say that because I haven't watched the full game this year.
Yeah, but that's a testament to just how disconnected some people would feel about Super Rugby this year. Yeah, I know there's still diehard fans who would be tuning in, week out,
for sure.
As rugby fans, we grew up rugby fans and we've kind of distanced ourselves.
I think we're going to tune more into the World Cup when that comes around.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So will the rest of the world. Moving on. Okay, so Nathan Cleary. This man.
He's got ice in his veins. He is the Iceman.
Yeah, go on. Where are you going with this? Before I say anything.
Clutched it up this weekend.
Yep.
In overtime against the Knights of all teams. No disrespect to the Knights, they deserve their flowers for their performance, but I want to know your top 5 clutch moments in sport, in general sport, of all time. Okay, think about that when the going gets tough. Okay, think about when probably the final seconds of a game or of a match.
Yep.
Who's that person that stepped up and clutched it?
Yep.
We'll start with Aaron.
Yeah, start with Aaron,
Okay. My first one.
Yeah.
It'll have to be, to me, probably the clutchest play in our history, I believe.
Yeah.
As 2015 Grand Final.
Oh, of course.
Hey.
Of course.
JT out to Michael Morgan.
Michael Morgan.
He crabs across the field and he puts Carf out in the corner.
Look at the box. They got a kick to win it.
To level the scores. Sorry. I think that's the clutch.
Was it so clutch when he missed the field goal?
That's why I said Michael Morgan clutch.
Taking the steel work.
Nah,
but then he clutched it with the drop kick.
JT.
Yeah.
He hits it. He's got it. He's got the field goal.
No. Ben Hunt clutched it with the drop ball.
But Michael Morgan, the siren had sounded on over. It was pretty much 0 seconds on the clock, and if they tackle him, it's game over. One. So
that was a clutch play by Michael Morgan.
Yeah, that's clutch to me.
Great choice, buddy. Great choice.
That's a great pick. Shout out to Michael Morgan.
Yeah, I'll follow yours up with my one from last year. Stephen Crichton against England in the World Cup semi-finals. That's just a plug to myself as well. Calling the greatest play ever, Stephen Crichton to intercept the ball and score a try.
For a huge try! Stephen Crichton with a try! The Knights win it for Samoa! That takes them into dreamland!
Which the game was then 26-20 at that time. Then England came back and scored a try.
Tommy Makinson is pointing it towards the sticks!
And then Crichton's second clutch moment in that same game, drop goal to take us into the final.
But they're also going to go back to Crichton. Crichton's got time to try and win it for Samoa. And Stephen Crichton is a history maker!
Yeah, probably the greatest player.
And honestly, maybe we have our biases, but I don't remember any Rugby League World Cup moment before that. Like I remember Tonga was, that was the theme of the previous the World Cup before, but there was no one particular moment that stood out before the Critter moment.
And there was two moments in the same game.
Yeah,
the Critter, he's one of the clutchest NRL players.
Damn.
What about that grand final? The Cody Walker. How does that?
Yeah. Even that grand final is intercept against Cody Walker.
Yes, yeah.
Crichton always steps up in big games, like I said before. And you guys laughed at me. Great analysis, Jeff.
You were that confident you slept through the game that he was going to do that.
Yeah. What's your next one?
That's going to be a tough one to beat in rugby league, so I'm going to go over to the NBA.
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard in the corner.
Oy.
I think it was over Embiid. Was it over Embiid?
Yeah, it was Embiid and Ben Simmons.
Yeah, in the corner.
And how many
he
bounces
threw it
on
up
the rim,
and bounced on the rim, and everyone kind of just froze in that moment.
Is this the dagger?
And just watching and waiting to see.
That photo is cold,
it's
how
cold,
it bounces, and then when the video zooms in on the ball, just bouncing 5 times and it goes in.
And that was to send them into the NBA finals.
Yeah, and they won it that year too.
Yeah, so
which Kawhi Leonard.
That was clutch from him.
He's her mate.
Damn, that
Yeah.
I love Joel Embiid, but
he can go home and cry after that.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. My second pick would be the Tua Tagovailoa.
My guy.
I think it was 2017, 2018, national championship game against Georgia. He was a freshman at this time, and he came on at halftime because Jalen Hurts at the time couldn't move the ball down the field. So it goes into overtime.
This is the Eagles quarterback now.
Yeah, the Eagles quarterback now, and then Tua's obviously the quarterback for Miami. And Tua throws a dart in overtime, 50 yards to Devontae Smith to win the game.
Alabama wins!
Who's the Eagles wide receiver now?
Eagles wide receiver now. So I remember that so vividly. Watching that and Tua clutching up, and all us Islanders were proud.
Yeah, man, that was 2nd and 26.
Yeah.
So he gets sacked the play before, and then he just
his confidence to throw that ball.
Nice.
Put himself on the map.
For sure. And that's why Bowles a Miami Dolphins supporter.
Mate, you know what? Finn City.
What a jersey. My third sporting moment comes from golf. bit of Tiger Woods.
You've always said that you've been a golfer growing up. So
hey, Tiger Woodridge over here. It came from Tiger Woods. I think it was 2005. 2005.
Yep.
It was the 16th hole, and they consider the shot the greatest shot in history of golf.
Wow, that's a big call.
Yeah, and it was also the greatest promo for Nike.
Yeah.
You couldn't
script it any better.
You couldn't green screen that moment. So he shanks his first shot, and then he's on the edge of the rough, and he chips it onto the green, and it just rolls all the way to the hole, and just pulls up short on the hole, and it just shows the Nike logo before dropping in. And and he celebrates. And
man, couldn't have scripted it any better. Couldn't have scripted it any better. With my next pick, I'm gonna take a rugby union one. Johnny Wilkinson in the 2003 World Cup final.
Yep.
Johnny Wilkinson, he's a left foot kicker at this time. Oh, he's predominantly a left foot kicker, and he nails a drop goal with his right foot to give England their probably second. I think it's their second World Cup ever. So that moment, clutch moment from Johnny Wilkinson, and Johnny Wilkinson will forever, because he's a sir now. He's Sir Johnny Wilkinson. Yeah. So it's because of that kick and that moment, bringing the World Cup back to England, where Union first started, all these many thousands of years ago.
when Webb Ellis picked up someone, no one cares. Those are some great moments. I think, if I was to pick, probably the Tour one. Yeah, but that's because I'm biased. Moving on, we got a question from a listener, one of our very loyal listeners. We'll leave their name in the tag box at the bottom.
Listener, first time caller.
But Matsu Slip's gonna read out the question, and the boys will have a go at answering.
Okay, so the question from the listener today is, according to Netball Australia, they've lost 7.2 million in the past 2 years and have bank loans of around $4 million.
Dang.
So they're in debt.
Yep. They broke.
Would you say that netball is a dying sport?
Mm.
And if so, what would you do to fix the problem?
How do we attack this question?
Just off the top of my head, I think maybe having a men's comp. Because when I think about it, when you think about the WNBA, they don't make money at all, right?
Right.
And their little revenue that they have, the rest of it gets funded by the NBA.
Yes, correct.
So the NBA pretty much just saving the WNBA.
Yep.
At with nothing in return, really.
Yep.
So if we were to create a men's comp,
right?
You know,
I like where this is going.
Yeah, you can see where I'm going.
Yeah, I like where this is going.
Obviously, make the money.
Yep.
Give,
I'll just say what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Go on.
The women's game is not entertaining.
Well, I wasn't gonna say. Okay.
I think that's what you were trying to get at without really going there. The women's game isn't entertaining. If we're to create,
why? I enjoy watching nipple.
You've never watched the game. Shut up.
I love me some nipple.
Okay, let me reword this. It's not like it's not.
Okay, in comparison to other sports.
Yes, in comparison
to other popular sports,
it's not entertaining, right? Like even the rugby, the women's rugby league, it's entertaining to watch.
Mm-hmm. Right? Is it not brutal enough for you?
It's a great product, right? The way to fix it is what you said: is start a men's comp, right? The men's comp will be faster. The men's comp, there'll probably be some dunks.
More athletic.
Standing dunks.
Yeah.
There's definitely more athleticism, that's for sure. And the speed of the game is going to be sped up. Therefore, making it more entertaining to watch and consume. Then, when the men's game picks up, then they can start funding the women's game.
That's kind of where I was getting.
So that's where you were going,
but
right?
Without all they're more athletic, they're more entertaining.
But, it's the truth, though. It's the truth. And it's a topic we can talk about later when it comes to, transgender in sports and males and females roles in sports. It's stuff we can touch on later. But yes, it's true that the male dominated sports is more entertaining.
Is that the only way to save netball, you think?
Can I jump in? But that's an interesting discussion, the way to think about netball. I think, one research shows that netball's participation has kind of stayed steady.
Right.
At the competitive level and professional level, it's kind of dipped in productivity and the way that they've promoted it. Sorry, I think where netball lies in the rest or with its future, I think it's in the social aspect of the game. I think they need to take for as a competitive sports, yeah, it's great, but no one's counting stats and no one's looking at the fundamentals of the game, which is great, and that's fine. But where the bulk of the participation is in the community is as a social sport.
Right.
And that's where its biggest following is that people are still, we haven't stopped playing netball. It's just at the top level, it's like, but right in the middle where everyone plays it at a social level, it's like, it's still powerful. Like indoor netball, for instance.
Yeah. But then how do we translate that
to
it's how you actual growth of the game?
Yeah, and how you would like make that your product.
Yeah.
How would you sell?
Because that sounds like it's gonna be tough to do because people would only want to play it for the social aspect, like what you're saying. It's the being with your family and playing with your family and friends, getting exercise in. But then how do you translate that into the game growing in terms of people playing for club, in terms of people wanting to play professionally as well?
Yeah.
Because there's differences between netball and basketball, but because basketball is a fast-growing sport, what would make a player want to pick up netball over basketball, right? There's no, to me, because basketball is a faster-growing sport, people are just going to go that way anyways. Like the younger generation, a lot of them are playing basketball now. They're not really looking at playing your big sports anymore, like your netballs, your rugbies. Like, yes, you still have some form of participation, but how are you going to make it grow? One more thing I got to touch on. The other issue is it's the fact that it's dominated by New Zealand and Australia. Yeah. Right?
Well,
it's random as when you watch a Netball World Cup and you see a team like Jamaica. When have you ever seen a Netball Jamaica?
Well, they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good.
I know what you're saying.
But you get what I'm trying to get at is that it's dominated only by these two countries. Also England a little bit. Yeah. But then how do you
I think also
global?
If you have like you're about to say, I think if the bigger nations like your Americas and stuff haven't adopted the sport yet,
right,
you can pretty much count it out.
Yeah.
I think if it's not in
a
global market.
But then it's different because then you can say the same thing about rugby league, about AFL, but those sports are those sports are already established and people love watching it.
I feel like it's a hard market because you're trying to promote a sport targeting girls, but girls aren't even playing sport in the first instance. Like they're not even sports watchers or players. Yeah. So it's hard to encourage viewers and bums on seats. You know what I mean?
What you're getting at is that you're pretty much saying they should target males.
Yeah.
Like what our first point was, right?
Yeah.
Is that if you start a males competition, there's going to be a lot of, you'd hope that there's going to be a lot of viewership, people attending the games, people watching it on TV, and then it brings in revenue for the sport of netball. Don't look at it as it's male netball versus female netball. Look at it as netball as a whole, because that's how the WNBA right now is surviving, is off the men's game, but they're still one, So that's, I don't know. It's such a tough topic to talk about because we don't know the nuances of everything. But if you have any suggestions,
what are the most popular female sports, or tennis. Like most viewed? Yeah, tennis,
right? It'll be tennis.
Yes, Serena. Yeah, but they got
tennis and gymnastics, maybe.
Gymnastics, yeah. There's no real specific,
Yeah.
Netball could be the closest. Did you know that soccer is the fastest growing sport in Australia? And I think it would be trending in similar in the US. Yeah. And maybe not so much in New Zealand, but that's on the... So in Australia, 46% increase in participation over in the past 15 years.
Wow, that's a massive.
And it's come at the expense of other sports. Rugby union participation falling 63%. Tennis 35%. Rugby league 27% drop.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And then netball 24%.
Yeah,
because that's
so it's not only netball that's dropping in participation numbers.
It's not just netball.
It's sports all round, eh?
Yeah. And that's due to football, soccer.
Yeah.
Basketball's also on the rise.
Yes.
Okay, so you'll see more people leaning towards, especially if you're playing indoor sports or court sport. Basketball is probably the go-to.
It'll be interesting to dive in next time about how and why that's happening. Like people are participating more in soccer, and
it's
more
more
in basketball.
It's just as much culture as it is, like you wanting to try something new.
Right.
Yeah.
It's whatever's popular in the US. It's popular probably in Europe, and then we're just following suit.
Brooks are better anyway in soccer.
Yeah,
bro. Travel.
It's crazy.
And the amount of leagues there are in soccer. Yeah. Like you could be a minor professional and still get paid in the millions. So
yeah, it's crazy the soccer arena.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of football or soccer, did you see the divorce? The Karimi case with his now ex-wife, Hiba, who's or something like that. Who's
Abdul Jabbar?
But how crazy is that? Is that fair play or what?
Fair play, bro.
Fair play,
bro. Let's see.
Play on.
Carry on. Play to the whistle.
Play to the whistle.
He's playing chess and he's 3 moves ahead of everyone.
Yeah,
bro, that's.
It's funny because I was reading all the comments and they were all praising him, saying, "Man, he did the right thing. What he did was correct." But she tried to play him. Come on, she tried to set him up, and it just didn't work.
I want to hear some girls' perspective on that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, eh? Now, I guarantee you, the girls will be like, "Hey, why are your things under your mom's name?"
Yeah,
they'll be like, "That's not manly."
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it,
the mama's boy.
If you haven't seen it, Hakeem's wife filed for divorce and asked for half of all his properties and assets, and only for her to find out that he had nothing to his name and everything was under his mom's name, so she couldn't get anything.
That's more of a YDP topic to talk about. It's like why does he have his stuff under his mom's name? Because I was also reading when he wants to buy something that's expensive, he has to go to his mom to ask her for money to buy the thing that he wants. So that's a different topic in itself, but at the same time she got played.
But how he kept that secret from her the whole time, that's fair play.
Fair play. Play on.
That's crack up. And he's not broke.
No.
He makes $1 million a month.
Wow. She knew what she was doing, and then it just backfired on her.
Yeah, she thought like, payday. Sweet. Let's move.
OnlyFans soon. Make your money there.
Did you say she was starting an OnlyFans soon? Okay, let's move along, boys. To our NRL chat. Let's come to the
wrap it up.
Yeah, our wrap up for the week. Maybe your game of the week or your stand-up moments of the week from the NRL round 7.
Yep, round 7.
Up to round 7, and then we'll look into fantasy and some pick'ems.
Okay. I'm a bit biased here, but my game of the round is probably my Sharkies getting up against the Roosters.
Yep.
I got to be honest, I wasn't even confident in my own team winning that. And we've got a pretty bad record against them.
Didn't you tell me you tipped against your own team?
No, definitely not. No. But no, I think we'd lost like 7 straight against them, something like that. And we were at home, and I still wasn't confident. But
coming off a bye, still weren't confident.
Oh, it's just something about the Roosters against us. They just always But happy to get the win. Pretty slow half from Nico, and then the second half he just turned it on.
I noticed he turned
earning his price tag.
Yeah, I heard he turned it on when the rain got.
It was
poured down harder.
When his hair gets wetter.
When his hair got wetter, he just became more better.
He actually did, that second half.
That second half.
So,
the blind.
Yeah, we to keep the Roosters to 12 points. I thought that was good too, and just to grind it right to the end.
Yeah,
and we scored I think a late try, and then we could have put the key in the rack there, but we scored one more for fun. Right at the
just for the points to free joy.
You know what's crazy? That was the first full Sharks game that I've watched this season.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. Wow.
Such a terrible team to watch.
Excuse me, Raiders.
Hey, we beat both your teams.
Yeah,
but what's it called? Man, how important is Nico Hines to that team? He touches everything, every set. Like if it's a head up, he's the one to pass.
Yeah.
And he's running on both sides of the field, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's so important to our team. Chundo goes alright when he fills in for him, but he ain't Nico. So like he's a big part of our team, and that's why we've locked him up long term.
Yeah, and he deserves that contract too. Yeah. He has like what Bo was saying. He has so many receipts in the game. Man. He touches the ball so many times, and I think he's gonna get called up for Origin.
I really hope not.
One of the bit of news that just broke today was that Whiten ruled himself out of representative footy, so he's retiring from Origin and Kangaroos. So that leaves the door open for Nico Hines, in my opinion. And I think he could do well. I think he can do well in that 14 jersey, because I still think it's Luai's jersey to lose in that 6 jersey. But I think that 14 jersey is wide open for Nico Hines to take. But
do you think Luai's staying the New South Six?
100%. He hasn't done anything to lose it. He hasn't. True. And his combination with Cleary. See, the thing, New South Wales.
This is why Queensland thrive.
New South Wales needs to take a page out of Queensland's book and just stay loyal to the team.
They've always been jumpy.
Chop and change every single year, and they want, and them and their fans wonder why they lose every year. It's because they change their team because they've got so much talent. They've got, they honestly get paralysis by analysis. It's because like that one year they played Gutho at centre. Why? It just doesn't make any sense.
I had to
stop doing too much, eh?
Yeah, I have to take Gus on this one. Did you watch his? Where he was saying play Daniel Tupou on the wing and leave Turbo at centre.
Yeah.
Or like
because Gallen came out and said that he wants Turbo to play wing. Why? You'll just get bucketed by those Queensland forwards.
I don't know. He's played wing before.
He has, but he ain't the same Turbo.
But man, that's it. They've always followed the hype. Yeah. Whoever's playing well that season, they never actually built continuity.
Played Talakai last year. Critter came in. Stags came in.
But they're spoiled for choice.
I will say this though: if Nico doesn't start, there's gonna be a huge backlash.
People just love to hate on Luai. That's why
they actually do.
So that's great choice.
Jeff's pick.
Before I go on to speak about my Waahs getting up against the Cows for the second time this year, I just want to shout out the Knights. The Knights against the Penrith Panthers. I think everyone going into that game thought that the Panthers were going to 13 plus them. Like that's what I thought.
That was me too.
It was going to be 13 plus. But the Knights they're gritty, They're gritty. They're really good on defense. So that our loss against them 2 weeks ago, it's not as bad now. It's not as bad as a loss anymore because I saw the way that the Knights performed. So big shout out to the Knights, man, because that just goes to show that they can handle the physicality with the Panthers.
And that's all without a few troops.
That's all.
Kalen, Adam Elliott has been out.
And that's gonna be. I'll be curious to see what the team's gonna be like injecting them in. But hopefully that they bring some spark, especially KPA.
Man, I was actually disappointed in the Panthers. I feel like they want everything too easy. And they're not willing to roll the sleeves up and actually grind for their... Because I remember they had a penalty, probably like 20 out, and they took the kick in the first like 5 minutes.
I know.
And I was like, man, there was no like willingness to build some pressure and then apply pressure and actually... And then equally as important, like the Knights weren't taking the backward step. Like they were.
I think you can see that they're missing RPA. Like there was a period when Sonny came on, and he would just go. But Luai and
he was disconnected from his half.
Clear,
he was just doing his own thing, and I think that's why he got hooked early is because there was no direction when he came on.
Yeah.
But he's such a great runner of the football, but sometimes you don't need to run it. You just need to provide good service.
You know, it's funny, that's the complete opposite to Mitch Kenny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a distributor. He won't run to save his life. Yeah. Like, there's no darts out of dummy half from him.
If Mitch Kenny added that to his game, he'll be such a great hooker. Yeah, and then obviously we talked about with Cleary. Bolt brought up the two field goals. Or was it field goals? Two field goals to tie things up, and then Cleary, the Iceman. He's clutch, hey. There's too many clutch players in that team. So, yeah. Happy for the Knights, but people will find a way to be disappointed in the Panthers.
Yeah. Whoa! What's your hate against Cleary?
Huh? Whoa! I didn't say that.
Let's call you out.
I didn't say that. I'm just a Queenslander. Who just can't stand. And just can't stand how clutch he is.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Honestly, I say if the Panthers go back to back this season, that's it.
I would quit NRL. I'll stop watching. If they go back to back,
I'll delete fantasy app. But yeah, just to touch on my Waahs. We came away with the.
Did they play?
We came away with the biscuits in the weekend.
Okay.
Man, that was a great performance.
22-14 against the Cowboys. This is our second game against them. The first one was away in Townsville, and this one was at home. Packed out crowd again, 24K, which is great to see that all these Warriors home games are getting sold out.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Buddy, look at this kit.
I'm all kitted out. I did say when we did our first YDP episode, sports episode, that if the Waahs win, I'm always gonna come on with the kit on here. So I have to make sure I wash these every week because I'll be coming on here often with this.
I was gonna chuck my Sharks jersey on, but I just came back from Samoa holiday and can't fit right now.
Yeah, but I'm happy as with the performance.
Yeah.
The fact that we only had 40% possession, and we had less missed tackles. We had 17 missed tackles to their 40. Like that's such a great stat to have. And we only had 40% possession, but what we did with the ball when we got to the red zone mattered.
Yeah,
we scored tries. We didn't come away with no points. So yeah, highlight of that game was the Montoya try. For sure. Montoya picked it up and fended the whole team off and offloaded inside to Kossi, and Kossi went over. Yeah, it was good to have Dallin back as well. He brought physicality that we needed. He's also really safe. So I was happy with our goal line defense. Goal line defense
I was gonna touch on that. Like, it's so good to see a resilient Warriors team.
Yeah, for sure.
On your line, I think they threw about 3 or 4 sets at you guys
consecutively,
and they couldn't score. And then on that same straight after, you guys get the ball back and score down.
We went the whole field, and SJ short ball to
double
Josh
pump
Curran.
to Josh Curran and score.
So our goal line defense was amazing. The only negative I take away from this game is there's 2 negatives: the error count and our 6 agains. Those killed us. Those killed us big time. And against so we're coming up against the Storm this week, and then the Roosters straight after. We can't have those errors and those set restarts against those teams because they will kill us.
Did you see majority of those set restarts were them pushing off the line early?
Yeah.
And that's that speaks to their keen and their attitude in defense.
Yeah.
And
There's
they just
definitely a lot of intensity
which is great, but I think once they fix their
timing
is the brand, they're gonna be.
I think that also comes off the back of the fact that we've started slow.
Yep.
So we're trying to be intent early. We're trying to bring that intensity early, but we're giving away penalties. We're giving away set restarts. I love the intent, but the execution is not there just yet. So the one good thing about this game is that we actually did start well. We started better than our other games, because our other games, teams were scoring within the first 5 minutes, and then we've had to catch up. But this game we were actually ahead, and
you scored first, right?
Yeah, and then we kind of built into it. So yeah, definitely some positives, but yeah, happy as for my Warriors, coming third on the table right now. If you told me we would be coming third by this stage of the season, I would have said that you're crazy.
Screenshot that later.
Oh mate, I've screenshotted it. Don't worry, I'm saving it right now.
See what it looks like at 27 rounds.
But yeah, it's good to rub it in to those who doubted us, and
you got about 20 rounds left.
and to our own fantasy chat who are Warriors haters.
Well deserved.
So up the Waahs, baby, up the Waahs.
Moving on to fantasy, boys. Let's have an update on this league and everything fantasy, because honestly, I'm this close from deleting the app. I think I've already
considered it, eh?
Oh man,
I've considered it.
It's in consideration.
It's been a while since we've done a fantasy update. Apologies to those who have been first in the last few weeks and haven't got a shout out. But this week we'll shout out who's coming first at the moment. It is PHT Panthers, and the coach is Fa'afoi Taueu.
No way. Is it Fa'afoi?
Yeah.
Nah.
Fa'afoi, did you say?
Fa'afoi.
Oh, Fa'afoi.
Fa'afoi, he is coming first at the moment.
Shout out to Fa'afoi.
But shout out to him. Some notable mentions. We got Mark from Fantasy Amateurs and
coming third. Oh, fourth.
Yeah, he's fourth.
Well, where's
what's our mate Sam gone?
Yeah, where's Sam?
He's coming sixth now.
Oh yeah, no, not too bad. He's in the top 10.
Not too bad. We have Jeff. He's in 26th place.
Consistency is key.
Yeah, he's holding it down for YDP.
He's the YDP. Man, we just skipped this part. We'll just go to
carry on, buddy. Carry on.
Yeah, I don't even want to say my. After my holiday in Samoa, I didn't touch the team, but
don't lie.
I'm 83rd at the moment. Bowl's at 95th. We have Chris at 170.
Just shocking, mate.
And then we got Loa Fionga Keo. We got Mina at 198th position.
We're 198. Delete the app.
Hey, come on, buddy.
That's right around the corner
Get your
from
act together.
Uninstall.
You can't be a coach for YDP and sitting 198.
Before we carry on with this fantasy talk, I've had something on my mind this today and yesterday.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's hear it. When people ask me for fantasy advice, when our fantasy group chat asks me for fantasy advice, and I give it to them, and they pick up that player that I said to pick up, and they don't produce, they get mad at me. When they're the ones that pulled the trigger on that player, I just gave the advice. Yeah. Look, mate, it's up to you at the end of the day, all right?
Yeah, you pull the trigger.
You pull the trigger. This goes out to Bo. This goes out to all the other boys in the fantasy chat. Apparently they value my opinion so much that they got in Couchman last week.
Man, there has to be some liability.
You're like, yes, they're definitely
you're your own man, eh? You're your own man.
At the end of the day, you're your own man.
You stand alone.
You make the final decision whether to accept that trade or not.
Agreed.
And then you decide whether you want to pull that trade or not. All right? Don't blame me. Don't blame the other fantasy pods. Blame yourself. Okay? Be better. Do better.
Be better, do better. Okay, let's look at some of your terrible picks from the week that was.
Yeah, so last week I brought in Couchman, like Jeff said.
Yes.
I wasn't too.
Did I lean you towards Couchman?
No, I already.
That was your own decision.
That was my own decision.
Thank you, bro.
Well, he definitely pushed me that way.
He still made some money, but I think I'll bring up a new segment. I don't know, something about who'd you curse this week? Because I brought in Cleary this week.
Yeah.
And I think I cursed him because he scored one of his lowest. I mean, it was still a 50-something, right?
Yeah.
But it was no Nico Hines. Yeah, it was no Nico Hines score. So.
Oh, that's a great segment. What? So
I brought in
who did you curse? Who did you curse?
You curse Connolly Lemuelu.
You got a whole team to list.
You know what? I did curse Connolly Lemuelu. I brought him in 3 weeks ago, and he's just been scoring 30s ever since. But in my defense, Galfusi was out. Now Jesse Bromwich is out. Surely he keeps that spot longer. He's a DPP. He's an edge playing in the centres. the process was right. The results were just horrible. All right.
That's a common theme with you, Jeff.
You can have the right process, but the wrong results.
The logic is there.
The logic is there. Just they're not producing. These players need
the mad logic.
What are your trade outs and trade ins this week? Are you going to use all three or?
No, I've been pretty
max trading every week.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna hold. I don't have too many buyers to put out. I think I got Tapine who's not playing this week, so I'm gonna chuck my emergency Ryan Madison onto. I just have him sitting in my emergencies.
Just swap him out for Ryan Madison.
Yeah, just put him in
last emergency. Wait, you're asking me a question about Tapine today.
Yeah.
Do you want to discuss what you're going to do with Tapine?
Well,
what are your thoughts?
That is a dilemma I have at the moment. Tapine not playing. I don't have quality mid coverage. I don't want to play BMM.
Yeah.
And there also got Couchman,
right,
not too sure on his minutes. So I'm thinking if I need to trade him or not. That's my dilemma at the moment.
Right. What are you leaning
towards?
Well,
I do need to bring someone in for mid cover. But
yeah. But you don't want to trade Tapine?
Yeah, I don't want to trade him. But if I have to, so it's something I got to weigh up this week.
Okay. First, to weigh up the Tapine situation, the Tapine decision. Ricky Stewart factor, you got to always factor that in. So I'm going to talk you into selling him. Okay? Ricky Stewart factor, he's been averaging 48 minutes a game, right? And he recently just had a baby. Okay? So we don't know the amounts of sleep he's having, so you could be tired. I think these are legit factors that you have to weigh up when you're thinking about selling Tapine.
That's a fair argument.
That's a fair argument. Yeah.
Well,
so no trades at all then?
Well, because I am overall focused, so he's someone I want for around 13.
Buy cover.
Buy cover. He plays around 13, and but at the same time, I don't want to have him drop all this cash. And
yeah, that's a tough decision, eh?
So I don't know. I'm gonna be sitting on it
until Thursday.
Yeah,
I think for myself, I'm definitely selling Cardi. The Cardi party is over.
Nice.
The afters was over. Yeah. The afters went on for a little while.
There's kick-ons,
and the kick-ons was really good. But now it's time. It's time to go home and have a feed. So I'm gonna sell the Cardi party. I definitely want Jack Bird. I need to shore up that other center position because I've had Alamoti in there, but the last 2 times he's played, he's been pushed to the wing. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just injuries though. But I think Alamoti, that's gonna really stop his price rises. So I'm thinking of trading Cardi Party, Alamoti, and I'm thinking of trading Tapine as well. Yeah. Just because I'm gonna be more head-to-head focused, so I want a point of difference. So I'm thinking of bringing back Brandon Smith.
Wow.
Who I started with at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
He's dropped a lot of cash, so he's in the mid 400s now.
Yeah, he's cheap.
He's really cheap. I don't have hooker cover, so my only hooker right now is Grant. So it'll be good to bring in B Smith, who's DPP, who's mid 400s, who can provide that cover for me. Yeah. And then I'm thinking about bringing in Jack Bird to show up one of my center spots. And then for my other spot, I'm thinking of Crossland actually. I'm thinking of bringing in Crossland, but
that would have been a pickup.
Yeah, but right now I've got Teddy locked in because Teddy has bottomed out. He's in 500s. Who would have
579? Yeah.
Who would have ever thought that Teddy would be in the 500s? So, definitely bring in Jack Bird. Definitely one Brandon Smith. But it's between Crossland and Teddy for that last spot to see who I'll bring in. But fantasy's been up and down. I mean, last week we all had crap scores. So.
Hey, just quickly mention we went head to head this week.
I thought I would just brush over that.
I totally forgot about it until you looked me in my eyes.
It would have been good to do a pod last week and make a bet for this week.
Yeah, would have.
It's all right.
But if you didn't know, I beat Jeff. I think it was about 15 points or so.
Yeah.
But that's still quite shocking, our scores. But he's still ahead of me overall wise. So.
Yeah. But hopefully some bounce back factors.
Yeah, for sure.
This coming round.
Sweet. Let's have a look. Actually, we'll go your picks of the week. I'll call out the games and then just tell us who you're leaning towards.
NRL Pick'ems.
NRL Pick'ems.
Let's go.
Thursday night, we have the Rabbitohs taking on the Panthers. Okay, so that's a big game to start the week.
That's probably the hardest game for me to pick.
Yeah, same.
But I am leaning towards the Rabbits at home. Yeah,
I'm leaning towards Rabbits at home as well.
Really?
Yeah, Rabbits 1-12.
Yeah.
I'm going with Penrith for that game. Even if you didn't ask. On Friday, we're looking at the Broncos face off with the Eels.
Hey, that's another tough game.
This is one of those games I said there was an away game, but it's in Darwin. So another easy game for the Broncos schedules. I'm actually Broncos.
Yeah,
I think I got
Really?
Para.
Yeah.
I'm going with Para on this one.
Yeah.
I think Broncos are going to run into some trouble. On Saturday, our first game on Saturday for the doubleheader is the Bulldogs playing the Sharks.
Sharkies 13+. Too many Bulldogs injuries.
Yeah.
No one. I don't think anyone's picking the Bulldogs for that game.
24+.
And then you have the Cowboys playing the Knights.
I got the Knights.
Yeah, I've got the Knights as well on this one.
I'm liking how they're playing right now.
I got the Knights 13+.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Ooh. They just came off the back of a loss to the Warriors. So
one win the whole season? Or 2 wins? The 2 wins.
They're bottom 14 for sure.
Yeah, maybe. And then on Sunday, we have the Queensland Derby, which sees the Dolphins playing the Titans.
I got AKP to score a hat trick. Yeah, score 48.
Scored 30.
48 fantasy points and the Dolphins to win.
Yeah, I got Titans easily. David Field's in hot form.
Ooh. The second game on the Sunday is the Tigers playing Manly.
I got Manly to win that and Turbo to go 27.
I got Manly and I'm putting my YDP career on the line for Turbo. If he doesn't score 60, I'm quitting YDP.
60.
Oh my gosh, you need to stop doing that.
I'm quitting YDP if Turbo doesn't score 60 fantasy points.
It's not a betting chip that you can just put up grabs.
Can't just throw that out willy-nilly.
But yeah, Manly 13+.
I didn't see Turbo. So after this, we'll farewell Jeff.
We'll be looking forward to you.
And then there's a break on Monday, and then on Tuesday, which is Anzac Test or Anzac Games. Sees the first game is the Roosters playing the Roosters playing the Dragons.
Yeah, Roosters to win that one, 13+. Teddy to score a double. Hasn't scored one yet.
Yeah, Roosters 13+.
Teddy to lose another 50k. And I think Dragons.
Ooh.
Upset.
Like to be different.
And then probably the game of the week, I think, the Storm playing the Warriors. Always.
That's going to be
Anzac.
a great game. That's going to be a great game.
Every year we say this is the game. This is the bogey game for the Storm. We have the win against the Storm. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but the Warriors look different this year.
Okay.
The Warriors of 2023 is not the Warriors of 10 years ago. Warriors 1-12.
I got Storm 48+.
Shut up.
Nah, Storm 13. 13+. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Waahs.
It'll be competitive right to 68th minute. 60.
Then Harry Grant for
and then
double.
Harry Grant for 13 points.
That's us, lads. That's our show. We'll finish off with your favorite sporting quotes, and then that's it. Wrap done.
Sporting quotes.
Rapid fire.
Left side, strong side.
I'm gonna go with.
Wait, no, I take that back. My deepest fear is that I am not inadequate, but I am horrible beyond measure.
Horrible. It's powerful, not horrible.
Sorry, one of those.
I'm gonna go with Chris Gale. Don't blush, baby. Cricket legend.
And that's another episode of Either Side Sports with the boys.
Tune in next week and follow us on all our
social media
platforms. Either Side Sports on Instagram, on YouTube, and yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Please.
Man, come on.
Later.
First one that would make a move on.